We are live on the Power Chat series for the Quebec Open Post Show with guest Bailey Murphy. Bailey, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Bella?
Good, excited to have you on. I feel like we haven't talked in forever, and
Yeah,
probably the last time we chatted was when you were on the show.
yeah, yeah. That sounds about right. Yeah.
Or maybe a couple texts in between, but super excited to have you on. I mean, this picture is really cool, so vibrant. Obviously, on the nice stage of the Quebec Open, it's famous for the lights and the kind of setting. Just tell me more about the vibe, the feel, which I know the promoters work so hard to curate for the night show.
Yeah, so my first time being on stage at Quebec Open was when I was 15. So to do it sounds crazy. Almost 7, 8 years. I'm terrible at math.
Yeah.
Later is it's huge, and I still get that same feeling I did when I was 15. So it's still a huge honor. And I appreciate the promoters putting so much work and effort into making it such a great nighttime show. So it was
Yeah.
awesome. It was awesome as ever, for sure.
They obviously also brought in or had a lot of good fighters. Here is Enrique uh, from G3. I think
Yeah,
he's
Team
yeah
Diamond G3.
G3. I mean, you faced off him many times before, but just tell me a bit more about kind of the fight, the flow of it, as well as your fights throughout the tournament.
All right, yeah. So I didn't compete in as many events as I usually do. I only did the Waco open weight this time around, and I the people that I fought were all really really seasoned fighters, especially in Waco. So I
Mm.
started off fighting with uh, a I don't know how to pronounce his name, but his last name is Van Room, I believe, and his father was actually the center ref for the final fight. But he's from France. I got to fight him first. I fought Mate Hammer, who's also from Hungary, followed by Martin Ballant, another Hungarian fighter. Those two were just picked up by Top 10 USA. And I fought Dwayne Marin, who's been fighting overseas as much as I have been. Um, and then, yeah, I got to fight Enrique Latona, who's also been, a seasoned fighter overseas and here in the States as well. So there are super, super good fights. Fighting Enrique, it's always difficult, regardless of how much I outscore him by. Every single exchange, I have to, be on my best. So it's always a fun, challenging fight. And, every single time I step in the ring with that guy, I know I'm leaving it getting better. So great, great opportunity to, fight him on that stage and put on a good show.
You guys also came out on top for teams. I think teams is one of my favorite divisions to watch. It's just so exciting.
Yeah.
Did you feel the crowd was into it? Tell me more about that division up there.
Yeah, so teams was really really cool. You being my teammate, that I love team fighting as well. So it's really really cool. I'm really happy with the team that we have. We didn't have Brandon this tournament around. We still wanted to be able to secure that victory. This is the best we've done in teams all year. Kind of had a slow start to teams this year, so it was super important for us to not only win at Quebec Open for teams, but to win back to back because we won it last year as well. Um, so teams was really really cool. We were down by two after the first round. Tyreek beat Jason Renee by two, um, and then Mason Boomba went in, and you could kind of see during the live stream, me and Kevin are talking. I just wanted to see where Kevin's head was at, what he was thinking. But before the fight even started, I kind of had already planned on going in second. Um, I knew that they would try to use Martin as their anchor, and me being the sport karate nerd that I am, I know all the matchups and stuff like that. So I always had a good feeling that Kevin would be a real real tough matchup for Martin. So I knew that my job was just gonna have to be different this time around. I didn't have to finish the show. I didn't have to be the anchor. So I went in second and racked up as many points as I can to give Kevin a secure lead. And then Kevin, being the seasoned vet that he is, just did his job. So
Team fighting is more than just getting three really talented guys on a team and hoping for the best. Tell
for
me
sure.
more. You kind of alluded to the strategy behind it. In your opinion, which one is more exciting to be a competitor in, as a fighter? One, like your regular matches or team fighting?
Uh, So for me, it's more fun for team fighting. You know,
Okay.
it's a little less. Yeah, and I say this as if I'm like not usually an anchor, but for me, it's less pressure because I know I have two or sometimes even three if we have
Hmm.
alternate three solid people that I could definitely and always rely on to do their jobs. And then if they fall short, then that's when my time comes in. I have to have their backs the same way I know they have mine. So I just the feeling of not having so much pressure because I can rely on my
Hmm.
teammates. That's the best feeling to me. Where individual, as I've gotten older, as I've gotten better, it is a lot of pressure sometimes because I feel like I go to an event and people expect me to win. And I expect that from myself as well. And
Yeah.
that's my plan every single time I step into a ring. Every single time, I touch gloves with my opponent. But there is pressure sometimes. So team fighting is a nice way to remind myself why I love this sport and why it's so fun too. So
They say also winning is sweeter when you have someone to share it with, right? And
I,
so that's the prime example of a team.
yeah,
So
100%. Yeah, that's the best thing for sure. To
okay.
not just
So
have it
let's see.
yourself.
We've got. Oh, sorry. What'd you say?
No. I was saying, like you said, yeah, it's just a lot more fun to share those victories with my teammates over like an overall or a grand champion. Yeah.
So why didn't you compete in as many divisions this time around?
Okay, so the week before Quebec Open, I was actually in Bulgaria for an event, and I hurt my heel with a jump back kick, and I competed in the Waka Open weight, and then in a team fighting event. And I had planned and had registered for all my events, but during that last fight, during team fighting, I kind of re-aggravated it. Um,
Mm,
I wanted to be able to fight in that Quebec nighttime show, put on a show, be able to win in front of that crowd. So I just tried to make a business decision and save myself for Saturday night. I compete all the time, so I can get over missing a couple divisions.
yeah. So we'll definitely talk about some of the travel, some of the countries you've been to lately, but let's wrap up sort of the post show part for Quebec. I mean,
Yes.
overall, what were your opinions of the tournament this year?
I think it was a really, really high level event. Um, if you weren't there, I'm sorry you weren't there. I actually almost missed this event, but this is definitely an event everyone needs to go to. The fighting was high level. There was a lot of European fighters that came over to kind of challenge themselves the same way we do when we go over there. But the Quebec Open was like really, really high level this year. It was one of my favorite events I've probably done in the past couple of years. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, I love the Quebec Open. I don't know what about it, but it just feels so well run. It does have that thing that sort of sets it apart.
Definitely.
There's just something that sets. Maybe it's the arena.
Yeah,
That it's nothing against like or hotel
yeah,
convention centers, but you feel like you're in an arena. You feel like you're at a sporting event.
yeah, for sure.
Okay. So Bulgaria, you said.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I mean, I feel like you're posting pictures all across the world at this point. Tell me more about how you're getting to these places and sort of what your mission is at each country.
All right, so we'll start. I'll go through it kind of quick, but uh, let's see. So March 13th, I left to go to the UK because I had my first full contact fight. Um,
Oh yeah, I remember. I forgot. I haven't should have asked you about that. So
yeah, yeah,
yeah, we'll touch on. Keep going.
yeah. So yeah, I had my first full contact fight in March. It was a really good event. And then after that, after I was able to secure that victory, me being the crazy person that I am, I decided to just, hey, I'll just stay another week. I haven't done a point fighting competition in a couple months at this point. So I stayed in Europe and I went to Italy and competed in a point fighting match where some other Americans accompanied me, like Devin Hopper, Zach Winder, Anthony Merricks, Tyson Ray. Um, I believe that's everyone. But yeah, those guys were there too. So that was an awesome event. And then from there, the following week, I went to I actually went to Germany and Austria for a top 10 photo shoot,
Hmm.
and then to Bulgaria to teach at a camp.
Okay.
Taught at a camp, and then I came home, went to Ocean State, won at Ocean State, stayed home for about 4 or 5 days, I went right back to Europe, and I went to Scotland, did some seminars there, competed in another Waco event. From there, went back to Italy, kind of did the same trip again. Went back to Italy, got to see some nice places, did a seminar in Naples, and then I went to Bulgaria for the Bulgarian Open. It was his first Waco European Cup. Got to compete there, had some great results. I won my 2 categories that I competed in. Didn't do the open weight because of my foot.
Mm-hmm.
Flew to Montreal, got the rest that week, and then was right back at it at Quebec Open. So been a busy couple of months. I just recently moved to Florida in December. I haven't been to Florida since March 13th. So
Wow. Oh my goodness. Did you
yeah,
ever imagine when you first started, what is it, at Bashta? That was
yeah.
did you ever imagine when you first started point fighting, you'd become a world traveler because of it?
Honestly, yeah. It's always been kind of one of my goals, and I don't know if you remember. You and I actually, you probably don't remember, but you and I actually had a conversation when I was like 15, 14, 15. And you're like, yeah, no, Bailey, you could probably do this. You probably could do this full time. Like, you could do this all the
Yeah,
time.
and look at you, you're literally doing it full time.
Yeah. So it's real cool. I can't see myself doing really anything else. I feel like I'm in a position where I kind of have an obligation to, inspire other people and, continue to push the sport forward. And then even if I don't, get to have the opportunities in the sport that I want to make sure that, the next generation has even more than what I have, or it's looked at as you know, a real sport, because, it still doesn't have that in the public eye. But, that's my mission, to make sure that changes, make it more popular for sure.
That's a great segue into the point fighting professionals, and I'm assuming part of the reason that you've moved to Florida, because like I feel like all of those guys are down there. I don't, maybe not. You can tell us if
Yeah.
there's another reason. But what is it? You, Devin Hopper, Kevin, and is Tyreek part of it too?
Yeah. So Tyreek's actually, in our eyes, he's kind of like our leader. He kind of recruited all three of us
Okay.
into it. So the other coaches are also Troy Binns and then El Java.
Okay.
So yeah, for me, I come from Connecticut. There's not much martial arts in Connecticut. So you know, I kind of wanted to move and go somewhere where what I do is kind of respected at a higher level, and I feel
Yeah,
like
I
it
mean,
has
when you
that.
talk about Florida,
Yeah,
there's,
yeah,
there's,
right.
it says it for itself with all the fighters there and the tournaments there.
Exactly. So I felt like that was my best. That would be a better move for me. And then got tired of the cold weather. I'd rather be in the warm. I'm never home anyway, but if I am gonna be call somewhere home, I'd rather it be somewhere I could train immediately
Hmm.
and have some, good weather year round. So
Cool. Awesome. And then, so you guys are offering a lot of I wouldn't say a lot, but a good number of the pre shows that I do are now offering your seminars. In fact, I just did a pre show for the Texas Blast. So you're not going to
okay,
be able to go, but they're going to have a 5 hour seminar with
yeah,
people from your team, which is
for
crazy.
sure, yeah. So yeah, our mission, like I said before, is to kind of inspire people, make people like just take people's thinking and understanding of the sport that they do to the next level. I always say to people, we kind of have to be fans of our own sport. Watching film, taking what we do seriously, treating ourselves like true athletes, like professional athletes. That's the kind of the mindset that we want to instill in kids, or really anybody, because you can carry those same values and put it into any part of life. So that's our true and real mission with that. Yeah, but yeah, we've been doing a lot of seminars, and I originally wasn't going to the Texas Blast. I haven't even talked to DJ about it, but I think I'm gonna be there. So,
Oh, I'm sure
it's
he's
a
going to
little,
be super excited about
yeah,
that
that's a little
because I
surprise.
talked to him like 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, that's exciting news for anyone who's going to that event as well. Cool. Okay. Well, I guess we're off to next as we sort of like wrap this show up.
Okay, so right now I'm still in Canada. Actually, I'm with my teammate Ben Clark right now. Been doing some training, been doing some privates and seminars. Then I'll be going to Newfoundland, which is like a little island in Canada. I'll be going there on Friday. Then I get back Sunday. Then Tuesday, I head back to Europe.
Wow.
I go to Slovenia, yeah. So
Super busy. Very, very busy.
super busy, super
Hopefully
busy.
you get to break in your Florida apartment soon.
Yeah, right.
Just to take a little bit of a rest.
Yeah, after that, I'll be heading back, and then I'll actually be at Pan Am's this year too. So
Okay,
I'll
fun.
get back to Florida May 15th, May 16th, and then I'll head over to Miami.
Okay, awesome. All right.
Yeah,
Well, overall, good experience at the Quebec Open.
100%. The best experience. My favorite Quebec so far.
Awesome. I'm sure they're going to love to hear that. Okay. Well, thanks for coming on to the Power Chat series, Billy, and congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, Bella.